Meeple Nation Podcast, bonus episode, campaign and or battle-driven games showdown. Ready, fight.
Welcome, citizens, to Meeple Nation. Grab your favorite beverage, pull up a chair, warm up those dice, and join us at the game table as we discuss board games and the board gaming world. Each week, the hosts of Meeple Nation share their love for board games and the amazing memories that come from playing games with some very outstanding people. Let us now join our hosts in their natural habitat, the game table.
Meeple Nation Podcast is sponsored by GameToppersLLC.com.
We are the hosts of Meeple Nation. I am Douglas Stewart.
Finish him.
Wow. That was delayed.
I kept waiting for somebody else to say it. I'm Nathan Howard.
I'm Andy Holiday.
It's a good thing these are bonus episodes because we're a lot more laid back, I think, here. Oh, well, Meeple Nation, we do have a website and it's pretty cool. You should definitely go check it out. Please feel free to reach out to us. We love corresponding with you and with others from Meeple Nation. So reach out to us at meeplenation@gmail.com. Drop us a line. Let us know what you're thinking. Send us a question. Tell us your thoughts and concerns. Let us know what we're doing well. Let us know what we're doing wrong. Gripe, complain, do whatever. Just send us a line. meeplenation@gmail.com.
All right, it is time to discuss some of our highlights. A game that Andy and I just got to play again the other day. Forgotten how much I enjoyed. Shake That City. It's such a simple little game.
That was such a rough game.
It was. We both felt like we got our butt handed to us. Me more so than Andy since he won. But it was such a difficult game where every pieces that were coming out were just not lining up whatsoever in a way that was advantageous to anyone.
But
it was bad.
The great thing about that game, though, is if the game is kind of hosing you over with bad cube drops, it's at least getting everyone equally.
True.
Yeah. You know, it's not like the luck is going to mess one person's game up over the others. Although, I guess with a little bit of experience, if you kind of know and you're planning, that might give you a little bit of an edge to take off, you know, some of that bad luck. But it hits everybody equally.
Almost. It depends on what orientation you're sitting. So if you play how it's really supposed to be played and one person is on each side of the table, because sometimes it's really the orientation of the cubes that gets you. So it could be, something could be terrible for me, but be like perfect for somebody else. Like, I need those roads to go straight up and down and they're sideways. And they're like, yeah, that's what I needed too. And they're straight up and down for me. So that's awesome.
Well, when you put it like that, then I guess random luck can just destroy this game for you. So never mind, I don't like it anymore.
But there is strategy to it, right? I mean, you can say, hey, I need to take that largest section, but there is an advantage to taking just one or two cubes.
Right. Definitely.
Being more focused with your, it's not an island, but your city.
Your grid. Yeah. And also taking fewer cubes some rounds, that allows you more options as the game enters the last rounds of the game. You have more options to put cubes out.
Or you force everybody else to take the garbage that's left that nobody wants.
Yeah, but when you get to those last rounds where you can take any color cube out there. But it was nice to get this game to the table. I bought this game after you backed it, and I still haven't pulled it out of that package. And I really need to because I think my wife will enjoy it.
I think she will too.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a great game. It's
a
nice little quick
play
game.
it or call it.
You should play it.
I probably should.
Cheryl, I think, would like it.
I think she would too.
So speaking of playing games with your wife, I got to play Wasteland Express Delivery Service with Sabrina.
Oh, I thought you said my wife.
No, not with your wife.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I got to play Wasteland Express Delivery Service with your wife. I mean, my wife.
Wait a minute. What is happening? Nathan's married to Cheryl. Andy's married to Sabrina. How? Okay.
There were some keys involved or something.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, you guys are knotheads.
But anyway, she has never played it before. And I thought, okay, this might be a game she will actually enjoy. I wasn't really sure. You know,
it's so good.
It is an amazing game, but my wife is very, very, very picky as far as games go. And she actually really got into it.
That's great.
It's awesome.
And got into upgrading her rig. And when she saw that I was getting close to winning, she really pushed it. She's like, okay, how can I stop and win first? How can I do it? And it was one turn. One turn. If I hadn't finished and ended the game, the next turn she would have. she called me Rocky again because she was winning the entire time until I came right at the tail end and ended up pulling out the win. But it was, yeah, she had a lot of fun playing. Pretty sure I can get her to play that one again.
But wait a minute, Adrian's.
I was just gonna say, yo, Adrian, but that's Dave's wife. This is getting all kinds of confusing.
It is, isn't it?
Any opportunity that you can get a great game to play with your wife.
Yeah, Andy with his wife, and Nathan with his.
Yes. This trail that I went down. This trail that I went down is quickly unraveling in my hands. So it's good when you get a good.
Yes, it is good. It's good when you get a good experience playing games with your wife. Yes.
Something like that. Yes.
Something like that.
Not a game that I played with my wife, but one that I did get to play with Andy and a whole host of people. I don't know if you were there, Nathan. I can't remember, but this was a little while back. We got to play Marvel Zombies, but it was in particular the X-Men Resistance one.
Yes, I did get to play that.
Yeah, and I really liked that. That was really fun.
So much fun.
I love the superhero version. Can't wait for Deceased to come out. That's going to be my jam for sure. I did buy the Marvel Zombies core box, but I haven't bought any of the extra stuff. So I was excited when Andy brought this out because this is the X-Men themed one in particular. And we played, I think, a mission or two.
Yeah.
And it all revolves around, there's like an attack on the mansion and you fight off the super zombies or, the heroes that have been turned. And the waves and waves of zombies that come after you. Also, just as a side note for me personally, I love the miniatures, the sculpts on the miniatures.
They are so good.
For the X-Men version in particular.
Yes.
the brutes.
Cyclops.
Yeah.
Cyclops. His sculpt is amazing.
Yes. Yeah. The hero sculpts, the brutes, really, really creative, I think, with those. The powers were really cool, and we had a good time. I think we lost once, but then we quickly just set the board and did it again. So I continue to love this version of Zombicide, and like I said, I can't wait for DCs to come out.
Yeah, Cyclops is a zombie in this, and he is holding his head up high so he can shoot you.
Yeah,
holding his own detached.
Holding his own detached head up.
So it's a little gruesome, but very cool.
So decapitating the zombies doesn't work.
Apparently not if they're superhero zombies.
If they're mutants, they all get healing factors.
Apparently,
something's at play there.
It's a very fun version of the game.
It is a cool sculpt too.
Really
Scott's
like
always a jerk.
Scott's always a jerk.
You're not wrong about that at all.
It's okay. You get to steal his keys in the first scenario, so.
He's not using them anymore.
Not anymore. Well, cool. Yeah, some good game highlights. So let's get into the showdown. Are you ready?
Yes, let's do it. Now, this one's going to be a little bit shorter. So this was our campaign, meaning military or political campaign and or battle card-driven games. And we each picked our top fives. We all threw them into the document. And actually, there was a lot of crossover. So going into this fight, there's only 9 games.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is going to be a super short one.
It's going to be a short one.
I
already know who number 1 is.
Not even a top 10. That's kind of crazy.
We've already got a top 9. They're these. Let's just find out how they're ranked. And yeah, I have some ideas about what's going to be number 1, but I don't know. There's going to be some contenders. It's really the 2, 3, and 4 spot that I'm going to be really curious to see where we come out. So let's go ahead and rank these. I've got them all loaded up. It says that we're going to rank 9 items and estimated 16 comparisons. So this should go pretty fast. First up, Stars of Ikarios versus Marvel Champions, the card game.
Ooh, that's pretty easy for me.
Stars of Ikarios.
It is easy for me too, although, I mean, it's going to be Stars of Ikarios, but I love Marvel Champions. I don't really get an opportunity to play Marvel Champions as a group. It's one I play solo a lot. Yeah. I build 2 decks and I play it with 2 heroes in solo mode, and I have a lot of fun playing it. So it's really high on my list, but I don't think it's going to be high on our collective list just because, it's just not one we played together.
Yeah, I have a ton of it up to pretty much where the X-Men joined the fray, but I just never really had anybody to play it. I would really like to get you and I together, Doug, and since both of us are invested in it somewhat, you more than me, but I still have some investment in it to be able to form and to go through those decks. But yeah, it's definitely Stars of Ikarios for me.
Yeah, but that's good to know. Let's do it. Let's absolutely play Marvel Champions. It's not one that plays really great at 4 players. In fact, I wouldn't recommend it at 4 players. And it's one that plays okay, pretty good at 3. But at 2 players, it's real good. So that's one we should definitely play. Next up, we've got Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion versus Memoir 44.
That is an easy one for me.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I see opportunities where I really like Jaws of the Lion, and I see opportunities where I really like Memoir 44. I think a lot of it's going to come down to the story, right? The story evolution of Jaws of the Lion. I really like the scenario versions, the experiences that I have with Memoir 44, but I think it's going to come down to I really enjoy, and I think a lot of us really enjoy that campaign style, that thrive of that drive of a story and discovery. And so for me, I think it's going to be Jaws of the Lion.
Yeah, it'll be the same for me. I've got some fun memories playing Jaws of the Lion with Sabrina, and it's a dungeon crawl, that's my jam. I love dungeon crawls. Even though I have enjoyed Memoir 44, I don't know. It's just if I had a choice which one I was going to play, it would definitely be Jaws of the Lion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be the same for me. As much as I really do love Memoir 44, Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion is really good, and we've kind of talked about this in the past, but the way it rolls out the rules and has everything in a book and is streamlined, it's kind of that more like streamlined Gloomhaven experience, which I think is really good and pushes it over the edge for me. So that one will advance. Next up is Descent, Journeys in the Dark, 2nd edition, versus Imperial Assault. Star Wars Imperial Assault.
Sorry, Andy.
I already know you're a jerk, so it's Descent for me.
And Star Wars for
the winners.
Nathan. It will be Star Wars for me. I've played a lot more of Star Wars. I think I still do prefer it over Descent. I love Descent, though.
Descent is
Sounds
great.
fantastic.
Yeah,
but yeah, Star Wars will take it
is
from me.
great.
The next comparison we have is Star Wars Legion versus The Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth.
Oh, Lord of the Rings, definitely.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Lord of the Rings, too. It's just there's story there, right?
Right, yep.
Legion is battle, which is great. It's Star Wars, which is great. But Journeys in Middle-earth has story with battle.
Which is great.
Which is better than great.
And Middle-earth, which is great.
Which is great.
It's all great. Yeah, it's Lord of the Rings for me as well.
Yeah, I love Lord of the Rings.
Fantastic. Next up, we have Stars of Ikarios versus Gloomhaven. Another easy pick for me. It's going to be Stars.
It's going to be Stars. I very much enjoyed Gloomhaven. Now I see the conflict for number one.
Yes. that was the conflict I was referring to.
I don't know.
That would be the contender. Although I'm really more interested, like I said, in 2, 3, and 4, because I think it'll end up being number 2.
I'm not sure
I don't know though.
on this one.
Oh, you don't know?
I
You
can't
don't know
even
the answer
remember
on
what
this
we were
one?
talking about.
Gloomhaven versus Stars of Ikarios.
Yeah, Stars.
I really like Gloomhaven.
I like
More than
Gloomhaven
Stars?
too.
Probably not.
Yeah,
That would surprise.
It's
It would
really
surprise me.
close.
I mean, not that I'd be mad about it, but it would surprise me. I think most of it is just a burnout for me. Like I got burned out on Gloomhaven.
Yeah, I didn't get burned out on Gloomhaven, and I still really like Gloomhaven. But I think I'm going to go with Stars simply because you have more of a variety of styles of play. You're doing the planetary stuff. You're doing dogfights. There's more to it than just
just the story,
and doing the dungeon
yep.
crawl and then going back to town and so on. So yeah I think I'm going to have to go with Stars.
I love the ship upgrading.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And yeah, all of that's really good. Especially the dogfights. They're just so good. They're fun. All right.
I think that's what
Stars
it
will
is.
take it.
Really, is the variety of styles of play.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, this is going to be Marvel Champions versus Gloomhaven. This is an easy Marvel Champions pick for me, but I think I'm going to get outvoted here.
I'm definitely going with Gloomhaven on this one.
You have to think about that for a second because no, it's going to be Gloomhaven because it comes back to I very much enjoy the Marvel theme. I don't have any sort of
Fatigue.
Thank you. Fatigue for Marvel. I've grown up Marvel, and
When I say fatigue, I mean product fatigue.
yeah, no, I get you.
Because I still love the characters very much.
Yeah.
Okay, so if both of these were set up on a table, ready to go, ideal player count, everything, you would probably go for Gloomhaven over Marvel Champions.
Yes.
Okay, Gloomhaven will take it. I kind of knew I was going to get outvoted on that one. Star Wars Imperial Assault versus Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. That's an easy Star Wars pick for me.
One for me.
Star Wars as well.
Yep. Star Wars.
Okay, then we've got Descent, Journeys in the Dark, 2nd edition. I'm just going to start calling it Descent from here on out. So we've got Descent versus Jaws of the Lion.
Oh, that's
definitely Descent.
Descent. Yeah.
Descent. Yes, indeed. Stars of Ikarios versus Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth.
Oh my gosh, that's a tough one because I like it has both like the multifaceted styles of play on both of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I have so many good memories of Journeys in Middle Earth too.
It's going to be Stars. for
I'm
me.
going with Journeys.
Are you really?
I am. I'm going to go with Journeys in Middle Earth. I love that game.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Boy, you guys, I'm torn. So we got 1 vote Stars. Nathan voted Stars. Andy's going Lord of the Rings. I think if both of these games were set up right now and I had to pick between the two,
You're totally picking Stars.
they're so good though.
They are.
They're both so good. I don't know.
But you're totally picking
I don't know.
Stars.
No, he's not.
Oh, yeah.
I think I have to give it. You guys, this one's really burning my brain. I do think I have to give it to Stars, but it's by like a fraction. Journeys is so good.
It is. It's amazing.
They're both very excellent games, but just the variety that Stars provides.
Journeys does the same thing.
Yeah, a little bit, but not quite to the same.
I'm going to give it to Stars only because some of the stuff in Journeys did start to feel just a little bit repetitive, and the diversity, like you kind of mentioned earlier, Andy, that idea that you're exploring space, getting into fights, and exploring planets all at once, I think is going to give it the edge for me.
Using my words against me. I see how it is.
Yeah, I am.
They were such good words.
They were so good.
They were great words. They were the best words. All right, Stars will take it. Next up is Gloomhaven versus Lord of the Rings. Journeys in Middle Earth. That will definitely be Lord of the Rings for
Yes.
Lord of the Rings for me as well.
me. Okay, Gloomhaven versus Star Wars Legion.
Gloomhaven.
Yep, Gloomhaven.
Okay, I think mine would probably be Star Wars, but Gloomhaven takes it. Marvel Champions versus Star Wars Legion. That's a Marvel Champions vote for me.
Star Wars Legion.
You know, I waffle back and forth on this.
So another tiebreaker. Only this time it's Nathan, and now we get to
Yeah.
watch his brain melt in real time.
Both
Set up right now.
They're both set up right now.
Terrain's on the table.
Terrain's on the table. The terrain does look very nice.
The villain deck's all set up. Got a nice Spider-Man deck all built for you.
You've figured out exactly
Spider-Man,
what army you want to play.
Yeah.
And I got some cool Imperial units out there.
Whoa.
Tokens are lined up, ready to go. Got your first hand of cards.
Picked out your Force users.
2 angels on both shoulders. I think it's going to be Star Wars. It's going to be Star Wars.
I thought I had him. Okay, here it is. Come down to brass tacks. This is the comparison. This is the real deal right here.
This is Stars of Ikarios versus
Imperial Assault. This is it. That's it.
I'm going to say Star Wars Imperial Assault.
I mean, Imperial Assault just captures Star Wars so well.
For me, yeah.
And it's that tight little squad fighting game, miniatures on a map that works so good.
Yeah.
Feels good. Yeah, I think it has to be Imperial Assault for me too. And maybe Ikarios will take it over the more we play, but I think it has to be Imperial Assault for me.
What do you think, Andy?
I think Ikarios would take it.
You think so?
Yep. For me anyway, I would rather play Ikarios.
Interesting.
I mean, I love both of these games.
They're great.
I do too. They're both great.
Both really good times. But yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since I've played Star Wars now, but that is still something I very much gravitate towards.
Well, and the tried and true test is if they're both set up, which one would you want to go play? And right now, I would play. If it was set up and ready to go, I would go play Star Wars.
Yeah, I would too.
Okay. Then we've got Stars of Ikarios versus Descent.
Descent for me. If that's set up, I'm always at that table.
And
You set up that table.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
And he's the one that set it up. Yeah, these two at the table, it's Stars for me, but I love Descent. I really do. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I would love to play both of them, but it's going to be Stars for me.
Both of these are set up at tables and you have to pick between the two. It's a good party.
That's
Yeah,
true.
You're at a good party.
Yeah, you are at the best of parties.
Okay.
You sit in between the two and just play both.
That would be great.
All right. So
We just rotate
Stars will take
around,
it.
so you just take the turns, rotate around, and you just go from table to table.
There you go.
It could happen.
It
I
could
like
happen.
it. That's why we need our warehouse full
Yeah.
of game toppers with all these
Indeed.
games set up.
I
Okay.
just had a fantasy I wasn't aware of.
Oh, so good. Lord of the Rings versus Descent Journeys in the Dark.
It's going to be Descent
So,
again.
so Journeys in Middle Earth versus Journeys in the Dark.
Journeys in the Dark.
I'm going to go Descent on this.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, I feel for me anyways, there's more variety in the discovery in Descent.
I agree.
I very much enjoyed Journeys Through Middle Earth, but there does tend to be a little bit of, there tends to be a little bit of sameness in Descent.
There's a little
as
sameness
well.
in both of these. Yeah. So
but there's more story that evolves in Descent than it does in Journeys, I feel.
So you're probably right. I think the issue for me and what it comes down to is that the story in Journeys in Middle Earth is a little more consistent and easy for me to follow throughout. I get a little lost in the Descent story. You are doing something. There is something going on, but really, for the most part, it's you're going to go down to the dungeon and just kill a bunch of stuff. And it is really fun. And you're going to level up and you're going to use your skills, and it's a challenge and it's great. But Lord of the Rings is constantly doling out that story and evolving it. And I think I like that narrative just a little bit more than Descent.
Well, I don't think we'd get lost so much in that if we didn't do side quests. If you went from the main quest to the main quest to the main quest, because we do side quests whenever they're available.
Yeah.
So I think if you just focused on the main quest, it probably wouldn't feel so much that way.
And that very, very much could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my vote would be Lord of the Rings, but you both went Descent. So Descent takes it and moves on. Next is Lord of the Rings versus Jaws of the Lion.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Very good. All right. So here we have the big brother facing off against the little brother. This is Gloomhaven versus Jaws of the Lion.
I would do Gloomhaven.
Yeah. I mean, I have great love for what Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion does, but all that is in preparatory effort to get you to play Gloomhaven.
I agree.
Okay. And this just comes down to my burnout. I'm just Gloomhaven burned out. But I still have a desire to play Jaws of the Lion because of its streamlined nature. So for me, I would say Jaws of the Lion, but I mean, that doesn't hurt my feelings one little bit. So Gloomhaven will take it over Jaws of the Lion. The next we have Star Wars Legion versus Jaws of the Lion.
Star Wars Legion.
Star Wars Legion.
Okay. Star Wars Legion it is for me as well. And then we have Marvel Champions versus Jaws of the Lion.
Marvel Champions.
It's going to be Marvel Champions for me as well.
Probably for me as well.
Okay. Marvel Champions takes it. That wraps up the list. So that
was quick.
Was it. So I have got my computer screen here. It's not so either of you can see it. Any guesses on what the last one was?
Jaws of the Lion.
Jaws of the Lion.
Close. There was one other on the list though that did not get voted up. Came out early and then we never saw it again.
Oh, I only saw it once.
Memoir 44.
Oh, really? Yeah, that totally forgot it was on the list.
Yeah.
It only came up one time. Wow.
Yep. So number 9, Memoir 44. That was the last one on the list. I did kind of suspect that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
As much as we like Memoir 44,
yeah,
given the caliber of these other games, that does make sense. Number 8 was Jaws of the Lion. Then number 7 was Marvel Champions, the card game. And again, I think that one might have been up a little bit more if you guys just maybe played it more or were a little more invested. I mean, I know you have all this stuff, Nathan, but if there was a little more investment on, to play it on your part, I think it would be higher because it really is a great game.
Or played it at all.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. So Marvel Champions clocked in at number 7. Number 6 was Star Wars Legion. And honestly, that's probably just because we played it forever. Like Nathan hasn't played it forever, and Andy and I still need to get it to the table. Number 5 was Gloomhaven.
Okay.
Just in its
number
base,
5. Respectable
base version.
position.
Yep, very respectable. Number 4, Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle Earth. Number 3, Descent, Journeys in the Dark. Number 2, Stars of Ikarios, which is kind of where I suspected that it would be, although I was wondering if it was going to overtake Imperial Assault.
You did it. It's your fault.
You did it.
Yep. And when it came right down to it, it was me. I did it. I stand by my decision. So number 2, Stars of Ikarios, and number 1, of course, was.
Wow, that was very beautiful, Nathan. Thank you for that.
Totally botched the words.
But no, number 1 was Star Wars Imperial Assault, not Stand By You.
Is it Stand By You or Stand By Me?
Stand By Me, I thought.
It's Stand By Me.
Stand by my side. I'm still screwing it up.
Wow. This is fun. Keep going.
Keep going. I don't know the song, but I'll still sing along.
Oh.
All right. Well, that was an interesting top 9. I don't necessarily agree with all of it.
Yeah, me neither, but I'm okay with it.
Played out pretty good.
They're all great games.
I mean,
so
you're still top 9, and they're all fantastic. So
they are. They're all great games.
Very good. There you have it.
Awesome. Until next time.
We'll see you ringside as you find out who is the last game standing at the game table.
It was Imperial Assault. Spoilers.
Spoilers, it's at the end.
I
It's
know.
not spoiling anything.
Well, some people will listen to the end first. You never know.
How do you listen to the end first? You
fast-
can't play backwards.
Just fast forward. Oh, wow.
What did you do?
What if you could? We should speak backwards.
Well, if that's the case, then let them fight.
Thank you for listening and being a part of Meeple Nation. If you would be so kind as to follow, subscribe, share, and rate or review this podcast, it really helps to spread the fun. You can be more involved in supporting the podcast by joining the nation at patreon.com/Meeple Nation, or you can find a link at the top of our webpage, meeplenation.com. And while you're there, look at all our extra content. There are links to all our past episodes, a wide variety of blogs, pictures from our Instagram feed, and bios for all the hosts and our awesome bloggers. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all under Meeple Nation. If you would like to chat with the hosts or other members of the nation, you can join our Facebook group, Meeple Nation Off Air. We hope to see you again at a game night, a con, or maybe a suspense-driven evening of Werewolf. Thank you for listening and supporting Meeple Nation, and stay tuned for next week's episode.
Thank you so much for listening. We very much want to thank our patrons who help keep the podcast running. I personally want to thank my co-hosts for all the help they provide with both content here on the podcast, in addition to what we have available on our website. Without them, the podcast would not happen. If you too would like to support the podcast, you can join the nation at patreon.com/Meeple_Nation. Or you can find a link to Patreon at the top of our webpage, meeplenation.com. If you have any questions, comments, or games you feel should be on our radar, you can always reach us at meeplenation@gmail.com. We can't wait to hear from you. I am grateful to Doug and Andy who helped me edit episodes, and I want to thank James and Kim Clark who do the editing on our blogs and on our webpage, which can be found at meeplenation.com. We want to thank Brain Detergent for our music. If you want to find more from him, you can follow his links that can be found on our webpage, or simply search for Brain Detergent on YouTube to find more of his tracks. Thank you again for listening and being part of the Meeple Nation community.
Auf Peter.
Nej, du smigner förstår bro, nej, mig. Du är sen upp. Säkert med känd upp.